All right, Shostak, level E, this is unit 1, and we're going to give you the first 10 words today, so stick with us. El numero uno. Adulterate is how that's pronounced. Let's take a look at a couple things here. The definition of adulterate is to corrupt, to make worse by the addition of something of lesser value. Let's just pretend here you had a glass of water, and it was nice, crisp, clear water, and then somebody came and they spit in it. You couldn't drink it anymore. They corrupted it. They made it worse. They adulterated it. A synonym might be pollute. That sort of means the same thing. They polluted your water with their spit. An antonym would be purify, which sort of means to make better. They give you a couple of examples here, like one bad apple spoils the bunch, or it adulterates the bunch. And one poor singer can certainly adulterate the beautiful music of a chorus. That word is adulterate. El número dos, number 2, is ambidextrous. This is a nice little thing you got here if you're ambidextrous. The definition they have here is able to use both hands equally well. So if you are a baseball player and you usually bat righty, but you're equally good at batting lefty, you are ambidextrous. I am ambidextrous. I can shoot pool right-handed or left-handed. It's an amazing thing I have. Synonym might be versatile. Ambidextrous and versatile, you have a lot of different sort of talents, and you have the talent of using both hands equally well. An antonym is a maladroit. That means you're only good at one thing. An example is like a switch hitter, like I said, or you can write with both hands. I don't know too many people who can do that, though. Are you ambidextrous? Don't practice right now. Next word, augment. What a lovely picture that is. We have a definition for augment, and that is to make larger or to increase. Sometimes it also means just to add in, So let's say if I'm cooking dinner and I have a recipe and I'm following it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to augment this recipe with a little bit of extra garlic, so to add in. So I maybe make the portion of garlic larger, or I would increase it. Synonym is just to increase. The antonym, obviously, to decrease. And an example is plastic surgery. So if you have breast augmentation, that means that you're making them larger or increasing their size. I would like to augment my salary or my bank account. Unfortunately, none of those things are happening right now. Let's take a look at the next word. Bereft. Well, that's a sad picture, and usually when I hear this word used, it's with the preposition of. You are bereft of something. The definition is to be deprived of, or to be made unhappy through a loss. A good synonym is deprived. If you are bereft of something, you're also deprived of it, which means you don't have any. An antonym is replete. If you're replete with something, and that's how I hear that word used most of the time, it's got that little extra preposition there. If you are replete with something, that means you're loaded up. So if you like your nachos, well, I like my nachos replete with jalapeno peppers, but my wife likes her nachos bereft of jalapeno peppers. There you go. Death and poverty. Happy examples. Let's take a look at the next word. Deploy. You'll notice that this is a military picture, and I'll tell you what, most of the time, probably 99% of the time, when you hear the word deploy, it's going to have to do something with the military. The definition here is to position, to arrange, or to form up. If you are a soldier and you are deployed, well, that means they arrange you, they call you up to go into action. Synonym might be station. So if my brother-in-law is a soldier, he might be deployed to Afghanistan. In other words, he is stationed in Afghanistan. And examples are troops or, parachute. That's a good example. If you deploy your parachute, that means you open it up, you position it to do its job and keep you from falling to your death. Next word, dower. This is a picture of my first grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Robinson, and she was extremely dour. I bet you could guess, just by looking at the picture and the look on her face, you could probably guess what dour means. And the definition is stern, unyielding, gloomy. Mrs. Robinson was all of those things and more. So stern just means sort of serious, but you can be serious without being mean. I think dour has a little bit of a connotation that it's kind of mean. So you're stern, you're serious, you're mean, you're unyielding, you don't budge, and you're kind of gloomy. Stern's a good synonym. We'll stick with that. An antonym would be cheery. And examples would be a strict teacher, like Mrs. Robinson, or a sad face. So don't be dour and sour. Be happy. Next word. Fortitude. Firefighters, I think, in the picture there, are a great example of fortitude. The definition here is courage in facing difficulties. Whenever you see an emergency, firefighters, they're running toward the emergency. They're not running away because they have fortitude. They have courage in facing their difficulties. A synonym is resolve. That's a good noun. I know it sounds like a verb, and in some cases it is, but in this case it's a noun. Just like fortitude, you possess resolve or fortitude. Antonym is timidity, which is you're shy, quiet, running away, scared, things like that. And examples are fireman, soldier. I guess a victim can have fortitude as well. We've all gone through difficult times, and if you have the fortitude to deal with life's difficulties, well, then you have the courage in facing those difficulties and you can move on. And we're going to move on right now to the next word, and that is gape. What a funny little monkey in that picture. You could probably guess, this is a verb, so you can probably guess at the definition right here. To gape at something is to stare at with an open mouth. And the connotation here is that you're either surprised or, shocked in some way. If you look at something, if you gape at something, you are looking in shock and surprise with an open mouth. Synonym is to stare. That's a little bit weak, but that's okay. No antonym, apparently. And examples are a look of shock. Ooh, jibe. You can see what these guys are doing. They're sort of pointing at somebody, and you can kind of tell they're laughing, maybe making fun of that poor, unhappy kid. When you jibe someone, what you do is you utter taunting words. Think of a synonym right now for jibe. Jeer, mock, make fun of, right? It could also be a noun, which is an expression of scorn. Good. Synonym to jeer, and antonym to praise. Examples are teasing and bullying. So jibing people is not a good thing. It's a kind of a negative thing. I'm not sure what number we're up to right now, but let's keep on going. A guise. This is a noun too, and you can see these three people. They all have other personalities. I guess these three people. So Superman would sort of hide himself in the guise of what's his name? Clark Kent, right? So during the day, Superman was in disguise, or he was pretending to be Clark Kent. The definition here is an external appearance. It's a cover or a mask, and that is a guise. Synonym would be a costume. So last Halloween, I went under the guise of Abraham Lincoln. So I went as Abraham Lincoln. I was disguised, or I had a cover or a mask of Abraham Lincoln. And examples would be costume, mask, or you can also hide your emotions. So if I'm in a really sad mood today and I don't want any of you to know it, I might come in under the guise of being very happy. And that is guise. Next one, I think that we're going to stop right here. This is insidious. Look at these guys. What are they doing? They're hugging each other, but they're also picking each other's pockets, and that's an uncool thing to do. So if you are insidious, it's intended to deceive or entrap. It's treacherous or sly. So I think probably in a lot of our novels this year, and maybe a lot of the novels you read last year, we've noticed some people's insidious behavior, right? It's intended to deceive. It's being sneaky, trying to get away with something. Great synonym, underhanded. And an antonym is frank, and that means honest or straightforward. And examples would be trick or a scam. So, they call you up on the phone and they try to sell you one thing, but it's cost you 10 times more once you get the bill. That's insidious behavior. A pickpocket, or even your poker face, right? You don't want people to know what cards you're holding. So poker is by definition an insidious game. Those are our vocabulary words for today. What I would like you to do, please, is watch this video once again. See if you have any questions, and we'll talk about them in class tomorrow. Thank you for your participation, and have a lovely day.